Hey everybody, it's me, Doug. Figured I'd start off this stream with just a little bit of banjo. Hope y'all's doing all right. I'm doing okay myself. Still a little bit under the weather. If you're there in the chat, we welcome you. I'll be trying to keep an eye on that as I sit here and ramble a little bit. We got a couple people going to join in with us. Just want to give them a few minutes. I just saw we had a couple people waiting around, and I didn't want you to sit around waiting for nothing. So I figured I'd play a little bit of banjo for you. I'll play you another tune. I can't remember the words. But anyways, I hope y'all are doing good. Still waiting on some people to show up. We'll just sit here and chill a little bit. Yeah. Be enough of the banjo for now. So, if any of you has been following the Legends of the Lone Wolf campaign, you can see that we kind of stalled out the last few days. We are sitting at 1823, raised by 46 backers. I'll go ahead and do some screen sharing on here. Share this here screen with you. Like you can see, 1823 by 46 backers. You know, that's 45% of our goal. We got 17 days left. But, you know, the first couple days were really, really good. And then it kind of, you know, slowed down. Just a couple backers a day. The last few days, we haven't really, you know, had any traction. We've kind of slowed down. So if you're out there and you plan on backing, go ahead and back. Let's keep this thing moving. You know, we don't want to stall out. We need to keep moving. And I would actually like to meet our goal and be able to plan some stretch goals. because it'd be really nice to have some stretch goals. We had 240 some odd backers on issue 1. So I'm hoping that, to at least get half of those. If we could get half of those, we would be more than funded. So if you're thinking about it, hop on over and help us out. If there's something specific you're looking for, let me know. I can hook you up. Excuse me. And we'll look at our perks really quick and go over what's in them. Because you still might be thinking, well, what do I want? I'm not sure what I want. Well, the Wolf Pack here, you get Legends of the Lone Wolf. You get issue 1 with the Jeff Lasley cover. Then you get issue 1 with the Muttman cover. The Muttman variant is going to be printed on newsprint. The age newsprint like the black and white variant was for issue 1. And then you get an 11 by 17 pinup, and you get the Lone Wolf sticker and pin. So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome little package there. That's the Wolf Pack. Then, if you live in a country where the shipping is just ridiculous and you don't want to pay shipping, we actually decided to offer it a digital PDF. The only thing is, when you back digitally, you will not be eligible for any extras or any stretch goals, because you're not getting it shipped, so we can't really ship you something for nothing, whatever. If you didn't get issue 1 and you want issue 1, you can get the PDF, and this is the full color PDF. It's going to be the really awesome one. We've also got just a regular book. This is going to be 80 pages, perfect binding. It's going to be a really nice book. It's not going to be a floppy. It's not going to be printed on crappy paper. It's going to be just as nice, if not nicer, than anything you'll go to the store and pick up. Anything by Marvel, DC, this will be just as nice, if not nicer. And we've got Legends of issue 1. That's Legends of Lone Wolf and issue 1 with the Jeff Lasley cover. We got Legends of the Muttman cover. That's Legends of Lone Wolf, and then the variant cover edition. Then you can get Legends of both covers, which is 3 books. Legends of Lone Wolf issue 1, both covers. We've got get 2 copies. Pretty much, we knock $5 off of it. And then we've got the hardcover special edition. This is going to be a limited edition. There's only going to be 25 of these things made. They're all going to be hand numbered and signed. There's going to be extra content in these books. There's going to be an experience to this book. It's not going to be just a regular trade paperback type deal. There's going to be some behind the scenes stuff, some handwritten stuff in there. It's going to be really cool. I want to make this extra special for 25 people. Well, we've got the Support the Troops package. And on the Support the Troops package, you get Legends of Lone Wolf. You get the variant cover, the Muttman variant cover, and the 11 by 17 pickup. Then we're going to send 4 copies of this to Operation Gratitude, and they will send these to troops around the world. So that's a really cool perk, and you should get on it if that's your thing. Then we've got the buy 4 get 1 free deal. If you're a retailer or you just want to buy some for you and your friends, you save $20 right there. And we've also got the retailers pack where you buy 8 and you get 2 free. So right now, that's all the perks that we have. If, like I said, if there's anything that you want or you think would make a good perk, send me a message. I'll hook you up. We'll make something cool. So I heard somebody pop in here. It looks like it's old Skinny Ninja himself.
You heard nothing, sir. Ninjas don't make noise.
You're not. Your ninja skills supposed to be getting rusty, son.
No, that's not true. Take it back.
I only heard you because you wanted me to hear you, right?
Yeah, that's
what
how
I
it
thought.
goes, man. It's that distraction chicken.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, not much. I was gonna hop in here earlier, but then I discovered my cat had a kitten. So yeah, kind of
Just
dealing with that.
just one?
Yeah, just one.
That's weird.
That's what she did last time too. So I got a weird cat.
Yeah, you do. Well, I guess that's better though than like coming home and there being like 4,000 kittens.
Dude, I would be in heaven. You know how much money I could make off of crazy cat ladies with 4,000 kittens?
Yeah, they probably wouldn't give you money though. They'd probably just be like, "Here's a bowl of ice cream, Sonny."
Hey, I'll take it. Ice cream
Yeah.
costs money.
Then you'll just end up getting fat like me.
That is my dream. It's on my bucket list.
To get fat.
Yeah. You guys think I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, I've even promised my wife as soon as I can gain weight, I'm going to get as fat as I can.
If I can ever quit being sick, I guess I might put that on my bucket list.
What, you going to get fat too?
No, stop being sick.
Oh.
Seems like I'll get over it for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden I'm right back to being sick again.
Yeah, well, that's probably because you're not getting enough electrolytes, man. You know, that's what your body craves.
That's what plants need.
That's what
I'm a
cows
plant.
crave. If you ever actually watch that movie, there's a bunch of signs where they just randomly say that something craves electrolytes. Like,
Yeah,
there's one thing that says, like, bovine is what bovine crave or something like that.
I love that movie.
That movie is excellent.
It really is. Oh man. Yeah, so before you come on, I was going over just different perks, and I played banjo for a good 5 minutes probably.
Banjo bad.
Yeah, banjo, man, bad.
You are talking to Skinny the Banjo Slayer.
That's right. I think you might secretly love the banjo, though.
I did used to own one until I learned to hate it. My fingers were just really stupid, man. Like, I couldn't get over that G string. Like on the 5th fret. It just really bothered me. Like, I just, my fingers are just retarded. I just couldn't get it, and I couldn't do any rolls or anything like that.
Oh, I can't do any rolls either. That's one reason I play claw hammers, because I can't play the kind of banjo everybody wants to play. So Michael's there in the chat, and he says, "I heard banjos are for hillbillies and successionists." And you're exactly right. I'm pretty sure both of those are the same, though.
Are they?
Well, I mean, most hillbillies don't care nothing about the government, especially not the northern government.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I care about is whether or not they get sloppy, slimy eggs, from my understanding.
I don't want no eggs.
And I told that woman, if you want to see another day of your life, you will stop serving me sloppy, slimy eggs. Dude, have you watched the Wild and was it Wonderful and Wild or Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia? But it's
No,
amazing, man.
I haven't watched it.
It's about some hillbillies, and they hang out with Hank Williams III, too.
That's funny.
I forget the guy's name, but it's just about him just being a complete hillbilly degenerate and his entire family. And it's amazing, man. It's definitely worth a watch.
Sounds like something I need to watch. One thing that's cool is the studio where I recorded, like where me and that other dude recorded the Before the Crow stuff. Hank Williams III had recorded there too.
I love Hank III, man. He's true country right there. Like, this modern stuff that you hear on the radio, it's just pop with a southern accent. I
Yeah,
was
it's
actually driving home from work the other night, and this dude was, it sounded like a country singer, but it had a trap beat behind it.
yeah, that's what they do now. It's so stupid.
And I was like, okay, crap is now a reality.
I should just play banjo with a rap beat behind it.
You should. But it's just so odd because I'm like, really, this is the direction you guys are going? Like, of all the choices you can make, this is where it's going to go. And I love hip hop, man. I really do. But no, you got to keep it pure. You got, no.
You sound like some kind of I don't know what the word is, but you said keep it pure, and it just you sound like you're some kind of racist.
Well, no, I'm not racist, but I am a proponent of ethno hip hop.
I was trying to find a way to make it sound like that, but not say you were racist, because it's not racist, but it's. I know what you were going for.
Yeah. Well,
see, couldn't you just imagine though?
To the Spurs, man.
Can't you just imagine like a rap beat and some banjo?
We can rap about making moonshine.
Well, see, there'd be some rap, but you could also sing over it and be like, running through the hood and shooting some thugs, running through the hood all night. And then you do that for a minute, and then you go and you throw the rap in there, and then we've got modern country music.
Yeah. And then, like, all the idiots will just bite up like crazy.
Yeah, dude, they would. They'd be like, "Oh, have you heard this? This is so good."
It'll be Katy Perry will headline for Doug Garrett.
That's right. And she'd want to date me, but I wouldn't date her because she wouldn't be white trash enough.
And she's not crazy enough.
I don't know. I bet she's crazy enough.
I don't know. She needs more crazy. I will say this. I'm going to voice a very controversial opinion, but I actually like Kesha.
Yeah, you need to. I was going to say something bad, but you know what? She actually did a song with Alice Cooper, and I really liked it.
Her stuff's actually pretty good, and it's catchy, and a lot of her songs sound like old Super Nintendo songs, too. I think that's what I like about it. It brings me back to, like, hanging out with my friends after school, playing something on the Super Nintendo.
I love Super Nintendo.
But yeah, but there is like my wife has this song on her phone that she doesn't want to have, and I think it's Katy Perry. It's one of the crazy ones, but it's like, I want to see your peacock, and it's such a stupid song, but at the same time, it's even more dumb because she was a part of that Me Too movement thing. So it's like, all right, it's not okay to objectify and sexualize women, but you know, it's perfectly okay to make a song about wanting to see a guy's junk.
Yeah,
that makes total sense.
Now, who was it that did the? Was it Taylor Swift or was it Katy Perry that had the one said, "Look what you made me do, look what you made me do"? Who did that one?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't listen to the music enough.
That Leo Maricelli, however you say his name, the Frog Leap Studios guy, he does a cover of it, man, and it is so good.
Oh, there's one you should check out. It's R.A. the Rugged Man. He's a rapper. But he got challenged because he said he could rap over like anything. And he actually did this whole song over a Katy Perry, or maybe it's a Taylor Swift. I get them mixed up because they're both basic hoes. Gotta catch myself. I gotta tone it down.
Gotta tone it down, clown.
And Melter just joined us.
I hate Melter.
I do too. I don't know why he even sticks around.
I like the punishment.
He's a masochist.
Yeah, and I also have to blame Doug for something now. Now I'm sick, so it's your fault. I caught some kind of a virus that affected me. Congratulations.
Sorry, man. It must be transmitted digitally.
Well, if you didn't sleep and piss, that wouldn't happen, Melter.
I'm keeping my language and trying to kids yet. Yep, they really got me.
That's an acceptable word, though, ain't it?
What's that?
Piss.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Like if you ask my mom, she would say no, but I don't really care.
Now, there's some words that, like, I don't know. There's some words that, like, people don't like. I'm just really confused about. Like, I'm Christian, but I knew, like, these super Christians that lived next door. Like, they had capes and everything. Not really. But they were, like, super Christian. But, like, they kept saying, like, H-E double hockey. I'm like, why won't you say it? It's in the Bible.
They maybe didn't want to.
I never understood that.
Maybe they just didn't want to say it.
What they did, because they would sit there and say H-E double hockey stick. I mean, that's like me saying other words, but just spelling them out. And I'm like, yeah, free pass. I'm like, no, I still said it.
When I was in high school, there was a bunch of the Christian kids. They were all like skateboarders and crap. And they would hang out with everybody. And they would go, well, F this and F that. And I was like, if you just like, that's what they said. They didn't say the actual word. They said F, like EFF. And I said, it's all about intent. I said, if you're not saying it, but you're still meaning it the same way, I said, you might as well be saying it. And a bunch of those kids got really mad and upset. And I made this one girl cry because she agreed with me. And she'd been saying that all day. She felt so bad.
Girl cry. Back his book.
Thanks, Melter, for putting that link in there, buddy.
You're welcome. Yeah, actually, yeah. I just have one thing to say. Is like, I had my nieces over, and then I had to sit there and watch. Well, my niece, who's only like about 3.5, 4, swear my father was funny. He took something that she had took from the little girl. He said, "Don't." The little one said, "Don't snatch things." And she said, "You don't blank and love me." And then, yeah, he set her straight though, because you're 3, 4 years old. You should be saying the F-bomb.
Yeah, for real. Hey, Melter, I made you a mod. So now you can post whatever you want to.
Cool, thanks.
Just don't post. I don't know if you are or not. You're not in the chat.
I'm in the chat.
Oh, there you are now. I can make you a mod.
And actually, it was Taylor Swift who did the "Look What You Made Me Do," and that was also the song that the R.A. the Rugged Man rapped over.
That's awesome. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
I'm disappointed that you know that much of it.
I told you that metal cover, that's the only reason I know it. Not because I actually listened to her version. Which I tell you, the most I'd ever heard of a Katy Perry song was the other day when I was sitting and watching that video where somebody put that crazy Democrat woman, the one that wants to make everything free. They put her face over Katy Perry in that music video.
AOC or whatever her.
Yeah. I sat and watched that entire video because it made me laugh, and that's the most I'd ever heard of a Katy Perry song.
Isn't Katy Perry also the one who did Wrecking Ball?
No,
that
that's
was
Miley
Ricky
Cyrus.
Ricky Hart Jr.
Yeah, that was Achy Breaky Fart.
Mm.
See,
Yeah, we can
cause,
rag on that
cause
guy, but
he,
shoot, when I was a kid, I used to knew that song as a kid. Unfortunately,
dude, if you were a kid the same time I was, that was the biggest song on the planet. And everybody would go to the fair and buy those shirts that had spray painted on it with hearts, and it said "Achy Breaky Heart."
it
And
was obsessed.
everybody had mullets. I even had a
Yes.
mullet back when I was a kid. It wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't because of Achy Breaky Heart. It was because it was the South.
Yeah.
People still have mullets down here, man.
Man, I would almost grow a mullet, but
Business
not
in
really.
front, party in the back, brother.
I saw a really good one time because anytime I see a mullet, I laugh because I do live in the South. But I saw a guy who had a Jerry Curl mullet, and I was like, "You win."
Dude, when I was in elementary school, my music teacher was bald. He was bald on top, but he grew a mullet. And like he curled the back of it. So he was bald on top and had the curly party going on in the back. It was so funny. Like it was funny then, but now I'm looking back on it, it was even funnier.
That is
Nice.
pretty hilarious. Do you remember Rat Tails?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
dude.
That was a
Oh,
big thing too.
They still
I
exist. Let's see them.
that is the most white trash. I mean, mullets are bad enough. The rat tail is the most white trash hair thing you could ever do.
Especially when they get it long enough to where they can like chew on it. I don't know why they would chew on their hair, but they did.
Yeah, there was a kid I remember from school when we were like third grade, and his rat tail was like so long and disgusting. But what's funny is he kind of looked like a rat in the face, so it kind of suited him.
Did you ever feed them cheese?
You know, he probably only ate cheese. Back when I was a kid, you could still bring your lunches to school. Now you're not allowed to. You're not even allowed to do that now.
That's
What?
ridiculous.
Yeah, here you can't bring your lunch or anything.
That is insanity.
So they force you to pay for food for your kids to eat that tastes like crap.
Well, I mean, like if you're poor, you can still get a free lunch, but they, I don't. I guess you just have to eat school food. And the school lunches when I were a kid was actually pretty good, but
Yeah,
now they're
school lunch.
awful. Now, like everything is like just supposed to be healthy, and they barely give the kids anything.
Oh yeah, I went to a luncheon with one of my nephews at his elementary school, and it was terrible. I couldn't even finish. I just pretended
Well,
like I was eating it and then kind of threw
What
my
was it?
napkin over it. I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's just terrible.
see, like
It looked worse than prison
last
food
year,
in movies.
yeah, last year one of my clients was working in the kitchen at the high school up here, so I'd go in like where we worked at. We didn't serve the food, but they would bring the trays back, and the clients would clean the trays off and run the stuff through the machines and all that. Well, when I was in school, nobody ever threw away biscuits or rolls or anything like that. Any kind of bread like that was always really good. Hamburgers, French fries, all that stuff were good. You see kids bringing
Pizza?
back, yeah. You see kids bring. Well, they don't have pizza now. You
Oh
see
man, can't party now.
You see kids bringing back like dried pieces of meat, and the rolls that they made are some kind of all like pure wheat. Like they're dark brown. They don't look good. Nobody doesn't eat them, and it's ridiculous what gets thrown away because nobody wants to eat that garbage. I guess
Garbage
that's a
food
good
for
way to.
garbage people.
Well, I guess that's one way to keep kids from getting fat in high schools is to just destroy their appetite by giving them terrible food. Somebody out there will get mad. Like, I can't believe these guys are trash talking school lunch.
Well, it sucks.
It
If it didn't
does.
suck, we wouldn't trash it.
It was so good when I was a kid. I'd go back in time and eat school lunch.
Yeah, I would. We had like the stop sign pizza that was really good, which is just in a circle. I don't know why we call it a stop sign because it's yellow with sausage, but
Really?
We had a
I don't
we
be
had a
square
rectangle
rectangle.
pizza.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
we had too.
we had
And it
those
was
too. That's why we
amazing.
called the other one the stop sign pizza. Especially when they made like spaghetti or they had those peanut bars.
So
So,
we did.
well, speaking of food, did you guys know today is apparently International Burger Day?
Nope.
I found out at work today, so I was like, "Oh, cool." They were like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Wal." They're gonna go to Wahlburgers. I'm like, I'm not gonna go there, spend all my money on a regular generic burger that's overpriced.
I've been at home all day, trying to get over it, feeling bad. I'll
Yeah,
get the feeling awesome, and I'll be like, I'm gonna go do something. And I'll get up and start doing crap, and then it's like I feel twice as bad after that.
I'm just glad I got the weekend over with. It was bike week over here. Lots of crazy people acting a fool a little bit here and there. On the bright side, there was a lot of beautiful ladies walking around.
I bet. I'd much rather be over there than be over here right now. Because I know where you are.
Yes, you do. And I kind of guess I know where you are, but that's probably just your P.O. box.
Well,
maybe, I don't know. I don't. It's not like I'm gonna like show up the next day at your doorstep and say, "Hey, man, want to have a beer?"
you'd get lost.
It's okay.
Like, I don't know. Everybody I've ever gave my address to, they'll put it in on like their GPS, and they don't even get close. It like sends them somewhere like a couple miles away.
That's stupid. GPS is usually good, but dang, that's stupid.
I live like so far out in the middle of nowhere. It's almost like a black hole of nothingness.
Doug's a black hole confirmed.
I mean, you only live like 2 seats above me, I think.
Well, you just got to be careful, man. If you go around asking people if they want to get a beer, you're going to catch problems. You can't do that. You might trigger somebody.
Yeah, so we've got to put that pizza down, man.
Pizza, Las Vegas.
Pizza.
Hail cheeser.
Hail cheese. So apparently I started Comigate today.
I saw that.
Yeah. Hail exclamation.
Was that you were arguing with some NBA fan of manga?
I wasn't arguing. I was just trolling him. I like manga. What I've read of it so far. I just want to be a troll because he said the comics are dead.
I thought it was weird that dude was following me, and we had nothing in common. And I was like, why is this guy following me if he doesn't like comics? And I don't post anything about the NBA. I was like, I might occasionally talk about hockey.
It's because you're a black hole, Doug.
Must be it.
You just
get close.
absorbed them. You didn't even have a choice.
Excuse me.
Knows, man.
The shadow knows. You're turning into a robot.
Really?
You're a robot. You're a robot.
Doug, you got to put away the Allspark, man. Come on now. We talked about this.
So reloading. Am I good or no?
I can hear you now, but you was full on robot a second ago.
Yeah, you were roboting earlier too because it was just delay lagging or something. I don't know.
It's you. It's you, Melter.
It's Meltertron. And Doug
Yeah.
Right.
One shall stand, and
And
one must fall.
So
we got
Doug,
some old metalhead in the chat. What's up,
I
dude?
love the metalhead.
What was you gonna say there, Meltertron?
I was like, I love metalhead, but I'm gonna ask you. So right now you're doing Legends of Lone Wolf right now, which is a really cool anthology that follows up your Lone Wolf. Yeah, what's going to be next? Is it going to be Lone Wolf 2, or do you have another project?
It's going to be Lone Wolf 2 because I can't find an artist to do my next project.
Oh.
And it's not because there's not anybody that wants to do it. There's nobody that I found that has the right style for it.
Do you have the name of it publicly, or are you keeping it private for now?
Oh, it's Psychotron. That's how I'm looking for an artist for Psychotron.
Oh yeah. It's been a while
what
since.
else are you doing after that, Doug?
What am I doing after Psychotron?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing Lone Wolf 2, and I'm doing Psychotron, and then I'm not sure exactly. I'll just see what comes up.
So you're not going to do a volume 2 of Legends of the Lone Wolf or anything like that?
I might if this one funds.
It'll fund.
Oh, you're about halfway there.
I've already got a 17-page story wrote for Legends of the Lone Wolf 2.
Nice.
Yeah, Michael's working on my story.
But here's the thing, though. If by some unknown happenstance that this doesn't fund, we'll take it to Kickstarter and run it. And if it doesn't fund there, then we'll just start making Lone Wolf books, and everybody can just I'll do issue 2, and somebody's story can be a story in the back of that. Then the next issue, somebody's story can be in the back of that. We'll figure out some way to get all these stories printed. Nothing's going to stop.
There's a way.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's going to stop me from making comic books. They can try. Never give up. Never surrender.
To infinity and beyond.
Right, actor.
And never pay for late.
Yep.
Yeah, never pay full price for late pizza.
I wonder if that applies to books.
You wonder what?
I wonder if that applies to books.
I doubt it. Everybody makes excuses for late books, but not for late pizza.
True.
I'm gonna open a pizza shop and bring you pizza 6 years late.
But it'll come in 11 different boxes.
That's right.
Maybe you should make a new song where you just use snippets of the turtles talking about pizza from the first movie.
Maybe I should.
Doug, was that Ninja Turtles versus Batman animated flick any good?
Dude, I really, really liked it.
Nice.
It was better than I expected.
I just saw that one clip, and that's about all I've seen was somebody watched the movie, and it's pretty. I guess is it really hard PG-13?
It's not a hard PG-13, but the PG-13 is justified.
Yeah, I saw the part where the guy was surprised at the Ninja Star thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, the Batman and Shredder fight is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It is so good.
I'm right now collecting the Batman and Turtles comics. Right now, I'm on number 3. I just got issue 1, and I think issue 2 comes out in a couple weeks. So, and that's pretty cool, pretty good. Hold on a sec. Let me go grab my issue so I can show you some pictures of what Batman looks like in the comic.
Hey, I'm on this out. I gotta go pick up my wife.
Okay.
But, I'll hop back on if you're reading when we get back.
All right.
Right, latest peoples, and back. Legends of the Lone Wolf today. We're skinny
See
with
you.
good bad things. I may even put pineapple on it.
Ooh. See you later. Been down to the river, I've been on the simple words. I've been down something. Nice costume there, Melter.
Yeah, I've had this for a while, but oh, it's a hit too. I go out with this. They're actually been to bars where girls are like, "I want to dance and get drunk with the turtle."
That's funny.
Yeah. So here's number 1 of the 3rd version of Batman and the Turtle. But you don't see him like this. The Batman looks pretty cool in his new attire. He's got this really well. First off, it's mixed in Shredder and the Joker.
Oh, that's cool.
They're called the Smile instead of the Foot. And let's see, where's a good picture of Batman at? Well, here's Batman. I don't know if he looked like this in the new series. Probably not, I'm guessing.
No, he was blue and gray.
Oh, okay. They go with that classic attire. Cool. But yeah, he's got he's the 5th brother of the Turtles, actually, in this alternate universe. So he's with Master Splinter and everything. That's pretty interesting. The next page here, I believe it's the next one. There's Harley Quinn's ninja. Let me see if I can make sure I'm showing you right. Yep. And then on the other side, there's Bebop and Rocksteady, which is Croc and Clayface.
I'm going to have to get this book.
And then the Turtles, in at least the 3rd one, it has to deal with some kind of crystal that merged the everything together. So here's Raph. He's Red Hood.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Next one is Don, who's one of the other ones. I'm trying to think which one. I think he's the Drake Robin, or he may be I think he's the Drake Robin.
Yeah, the Tim Drake, the Red Robin.
Yeah. Mikey is trying to think which one Mikey is. Mikey's
Damien. He's Damien.
Damien. It's Damien, and finally and there's Leo, who's Nightwing.
That is awesome, man. I'm going to have to get this book.
Yeah, and it has the whole thing for the Batman one right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't really like the design for the Turtles in this picture, though. Or at least Dawn looks ugly.
They all look kind of weird. Like, the whole movie's kind of weird. Just the style of it is.
Yeah.
But the story and the characters are so good that I overlooked the way the artistic choices.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. But here's one book that I want to get. It's a 348-page issue coming out. It's called The Last Chapter of the Batman Saga, Batman Last Night on Earth. And it's pretty cool. It's based off this old meme where Batman was never really Batman. He was just in the mental ward. This is a little preview of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And actually, I'm very interested in getting this book because at the end they show this for the preview. There's his cowl. So DC is actually telling me I should get this, and the writer is Scott Snyder. Greg Capullo is the penciler. The inker is John Galapio. FCO is the colorist, and the letterer is Tom Napolitano. And it's already been out. Actually, it came out in May. Apparently, I missed it. Well, at least I can go look for it later.
That's true.
Mm. And also, I got this one. I don't know if I ever showed you this.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's really neat. I saw when you posted a picture of that.
I think it was only about $1.50, even though it was priced at $4. I got it, cheap. I'm afraid to even read it. I took it at once, and I was like, it's falling apart. I'm like, it's cool, classic old Batman.
Yeah. I love that. I love that old stuff, man.
Oh yeah. It's too hot here. I don't want to take this off on camera. I mean, it's not like I'm naked or anything. It's just that I don't want to take it off of the camera.
I don't blame you.
I mean, I've already shown my face a few times. It's just...
Well, Melter, I don't know if you know this, but 3 years ago, they killed Harambe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, today?
I think it's today. I was tagged in a post because 3 years ago, the guys I used to work with, man, we talked about Harambe all the time. That's all we talked about. And so I got reminded. Those two guys moved on to a different job, but they tagged me in a post today and said it was 3 years ago today that Harambe died.
Mm. Yeah, that was unfortunate for the gorilla, but I remember seeing the video. He drugged the shoot out of that kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, well, I'm not gonna pick sides on it, but it was a tough, rough call.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll leave it at that. I mean, it's not like it was like the whole thing with the Cecil the lion. That's a whole different story. That was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I just like all the Harambe memes and stuff. They make me laugh.
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed Skinny disappeared. Did he leave on purpose or no?
No, he had to go pick up Miss Skinny from work.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So, some old metalhead says in the chat that he's suddenly craving pizza.
Oh, no. We have a traitor amongst us.
Well, you were dressed like a turtle, so that's probably why.
Oh, yeah, that. I also have a Deadpool like that hoodie, but it goes and covers my entire face. Well, I think the Deadpool makes sense now since the movies came out. Back then, no one really knew who Deadpool was. People were like, okay.
Yeah. That guy's got a Spider-Man mask on.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like Spider-Man. Where's your symbol at?
I did I laughed at one time because I can't remember which Deadpool comic it is, but he's like swinging through the city and somebody yells out the window and goes, "Spider-Man, what's your sign?" And he looks at him and goes, "Cancer, I guess." And that cracked me up.
That's a good one. Actually, what was it? All right, so you saw the Images Spawn 300 cover, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Talk about...
I'm glad that you think it's awesome because I do too. Some people were like, "Oh, that's so lame." And I'm like, why is that lame? Todd McFarlane did that cover, so why can't he pay tribute to himself by doing it again?
Yeah, it was the 25th issue, anniversary of Spider-Man. Well, what number was it again? 200 or 300 for that one as well?
Yeah, it was 300 for The Amazing Spider-Man is issue 300.
Issue 300, 25th anniversary. Now he's doing, the 300th issue for that one. I don't know what year Spawn came out, so I don't think it was in like a 30th anniversary or whatever. But still, it's a 300 issue. He drew both covers. I don't have a problem with him tracing his own art and redoing a little piece by piece if he did that. But Todd, I don't know if he traced. I don't think he did. He's a very good artist. He still is to this day.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with him doing tribute to his own artwork.
Yeah, I mean, it's great because I think I heard a rumor that Todd just walked away from doing another one of a Spawn recently. I just heard that rumor, and I don't know if it's true.
You're talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of delays, and apparently he's upset with it, and he's threatening to walk away. I don't know if he has yet or not, but apparently he's threatening it.
I don't blame him. You know, he wants it to. You know, he wants it his way. It's not going. You know, it's his baby. I don't actually. I did like the original movie. I liked every bit of it. I liked John Leguizamo as the clown. I thought he was hilarious. And you know, the clown really likes his pizza with bugs and stuff on it.
You know, like the movie wasn't bad. Some of the special effects were cheesy, but that was right at the beginning of people using a lot of CGI. I think if they could remake the movie exactly like that now and just put new CGI in it, and it would be good.
Yeah, I want to agree with six scale. The toys are awesome. I have somewhere in storage like a few toys. I have Clown from the movie. I have the I have I guess it was the original figure for Spawn, and when he was the Violator, in you know, the Violator form, and I also have the Night Spawn somewhere. I like the Night Spawn. That was pretty cool. From I guess name and everything. But yeah.
Zach Hawkins says, "Please no Jamie Foxx, Al Simmons. I'd rather see the movie canceled." I agree. I don't like Jamie Foxx, and I think he's overrated.
I haven't seen him in much in a while, but you know, the stuff I've seen him in. Let's see here. I liked him in comedy stuff, like Booty Call. You know, in Living Color. What else did he do?
Yeah, I liked his comedic stuff, but
I have to look it up.
He's just so full of himself now. I don't even want to see him anything. Michael says the animated show was epic. Yeah, the animated Spawn show was fantastic, except they never finished it. It just left off on a cliffhanger.
It got canceled, right? Basically, it's probably what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even if they don't say the words canceled, but yeah, and the actor who did the voice was I'm trying to think of his name. He was the
David Keith.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah,
Keith David.
Keith David. Yes, Keith David.
Yeah, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, he can do anything. my favorite line from him is, "Well, is it the Frank or the Bean, son?"
6 Scale Combat says Robert Downey Jr. should play Spawn.
Oh gosh.
So should he play a black guy that's playing Spawn, like Tropic Thunder it up?
Oh, he's a white guy playing a black guy. No, I'm a dude. This guy's a dude playing another dude. Who think, or something like that.
Yeah, he could just do that. He could just do that again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good man. I'm trying. You know, I do actually. I am now looking back just to see what Jamie Foxx has done that was serious that I could, and I forgot some of these. Django Unchained. It's Quentin Tarantino. I thought that movie was great.
I thought it was okay. I don't think it's one of Tarantino's best.
No,
I think Robert Downey, dadgummit, got Robert Downey Jr.'s name stuck in my head. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is really good in that movie, but I don't think Jamie Foxx is that great.
Yeah. Well, he was in I didn't really like Ray Charles' movie Ray.
I actually did like that and thought he was really good in it.
I like Miami Vice. I know some people don't like that movie, but I like the Miami Vice movie.
I
He was
didn't
Tubbs.
watch it.
That was alright. So what other good movies he did? Because I mean, well, he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Electro, but I never
That
saw 2.
that was awful. You're lucky you didn't see it. You probably would have died because it was so bad.
Okay.
I think it's fair to
Interesting.
say that.
Alright. I mean, yeah, because I see here, if I click Spawn, see if it only redirect. Wiki only redirects me to like Spawn. The character doesn't bring me too much about the film because it's such in big early stages.
Yeah. I would like to see him make another one, but from what I heard him talking about early on, it wasn't even going to be based around Spawn. It was going to be based around the two cops investigating everything, and you would only see Spawn like in small amounts. And it's like, well,
It was Twitch.
I don't want to see that.
I mean, it sounds kind of cool, but I mean,
it sounds cool as a TV show or something to correspond with the movie. But as far as the movie goes, I don't want to see a cop movie that has random Spawn in it. I want to see Spawn. You know?
Yeah, I understand. I can see that, and I agree with that. Let's see who it was. Who was supposed to be Twitch? Jeremy Renner is supposed to be Twitch, so he would have been the main character then. You know what? I kind of want them to still do the movie just so we can have Jeremy Renner, have a main big role again.
Yeah, I actually like Jeremy Renner, so.
Yeah, my like for him goes all the way back when I was a kid, and like what was the name of that movie? Senior Trip. I saw that as a kid. Now I thought those guys were hilarious, and that was Renner as a stoner.
See, I never watched that, so I didn't even know.
It's so good, man. It's all the stupid '90s funny stuff, and they do so. Like one of the stoners keeps looking around. I guess they upset a guy and he's a Star Trek geek, and he's dressed up like like he's the captain. He's like, dude, we're being followed by a Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura, and Uhura's a blowed up inflated doll that looks like kind of like a whore, and he's after them. And it's got what's his name, Tommy Chong in there. It's just a really stupid, National Lampoon's movie. If you like classic National Lampoon's movie, and you want to see Jeremy Renner as a stoner, go right ahead. It's really, really funny. Oh yeah. Okay. We have Skinny in the chat. He said, "Senior Trip is great. Matthew Fewer was the principal." Yeah. Matthew Fewer, who was he was in Watchmen as a small part. That whole scene with Rorschach, and he's also been in stuff like the TV show Eureka, among other things. Yeah, I like Matthew Fewer.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, you've seen Watchmen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, remember Rorschach is like going after an old nemesis, the guy with the weird ears, and he says, Moloch. Yeah,
I know who that guy is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. Which is actually kind of funny because what's his name? Christopher Lloyd kind of looks like him when he was all tuned out in Roger Rabbit.
You remember me, Eddie?
Oh God, that's one movie you cannot remake. You do not.
No, you cannot remake that movie. You could never cast it right. Oh, dude.
Oh God, that's how I kind of felt about Pokemon when I saw Detective Pikachu. It kind of made me feel like I was watching Roger Rabbit. It was, to me, that's how much I liked the Detective Pikachu. It was like, you don't get something like this often. You don't. I mean, you get Space Jam, and they're going to remake that too.
Yeah, poop on that. Roger
I mean,
Rabbit.
I'm not trying to hate on LeBron James, but it's like, you're not as loved as Michael Jordan. It's not going to, and plus he already did it, so it's going to be hard for you to top Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's just dumb to remake it.
Yeah. But you're saying Roger Rabbit?
Roger Rabbit, man, that movie, there will never be another movie like that. I mean, that movie is amazing. Bob Hoskins is amazing. Christopher Lloyd. You could never get a cast to even touch the cast, let alone that golden that animation. Then that they don't even do animation like that now. They couldn't capture that look.
No. And in my opinion, the best scene in that whole movie was Daffy and Donald, the piano duel. It was just interesting. Everything that was going on it and around it, like, Scotch on the rocks, and I mean ice. Everything that was about that scene was just perfect.
Yeah. Then there was, like you're saying, there was so much going on. Like there were a few humans there, but everything else they were acting with like nothing. You know, and it's
Yep.
not like now where you've got somebody in a capture suit or they're in front of a green screen and they're just blocked out.
And that's how they did the original Space Jam, because I remember seeing the behind the scenes, and they had a guy in a complete green suit. For that would be with him and Jordan
Yeah,
to play that off.
but they couldn't do Roger Rabbit like that, dude. And for some reason, man, I love period movies. Like period, like that is set in like the 30s, 20s, 30s. I love that era, man. I don't know why, but that's like one of my favorite eras ever.
Oh yeah. The noir stuff is pretty cool because it's something that's been replaced, and it's like people I think mostly like the hipper, cutesy stuff like Pleasantville or something, or the Truman Show kind of gave off that kind of like very vibe of that kind of Leave It to Beaver stuff. But when you look at it a different way, a little bit like maybe 20 years earlier, when things were much more primitive, it's just obviously now, but it's interesting. It's the whole coolness of like people in the trench coats, calling ladies dames and all this stuff. It's like when usually like guys from some of the Star Trek shows would go in like the little hollow suite deck things.
Yeah,
They would always do that old time.
yeah. What was it that Captain Picard? He was that
It's like Dick Tracy.
Dixon Hill. That's who he was. He'd go in there and I don't know, but I have the same kind of love for stuff like that. But I hate to
Bashir would want to be 007.
see. I hate the Dick Tracy movie. I think that they just completely dropped the ball on that. I think they should
the characters were just so creepy.
The characters looked great, but the story was long and it was boring. And they tried to use the gimmick of having Madonna in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was in that movie.
But the characters looked great. The sets were great and all that stuff was great. It's just the story was kind of poopy.
Nah, it's like looks great, got good actors maybe in it, but then it's written like garbage. It's just like Batman versus Superman. You have everything that's going to make it look good. It should be good. Then you watch it, and it comes down to bad writing.
You know what? I still like Batman versus Superman.
Well, I mean, I guess it had just so much hype to it. Let's just do that. Let's blame the hype because they had to compete with the Avengers. So
I honestly
Hmm?
think that Disney just paid for really good reviews and paid everybody to crap on Batman versus Superman. Because had it had good reviews, everybody would have went right along with it and talked about how great it was.
I thought it was, but I still say to this day, I still say Ben Affleck proved a lot of people wrong. He was a good Batman, Bruce Wayne, older Batman, Bruce Wayne, and
This,
I'm sad that we won't be getting a Batman movie with him as Batman
I
now.
agree. Now, I don't think Batman versus Superman is a perfect movie. I think it could have been okay if some stuff was different. I think they crammed way too much stuff into it. It should have the whole Doomsday thing. If they wanted to do that, that should have been a standalone Superman. That should have been Man of Steel 2. They were just trying. I think they rushed too quick to get like a.
They shouldn't have called made him Doomsday. It should have been the body should have turned into Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, they should have just. They should have just not done any of that at all, and it would have been better.
I mean, if they had just made the thing huge, it looked Solomon Grundy. He was Solomon Grundy. Because Doomsday is something. I felt like that should have been done for something else. Now, I don't know what they're going to do now with everything. It's like the big villain for the Avengers up to now for Endgame was Thanos. So for the Justice League, it would be Darkseid, which those two are.
They're not going to do a Justice League. I don't see them doing anything with Justice League for a while. They already screwed that up.
Yeah, that one actually. I mean, they picked the main villain as who was it again? I can't think of his name.
Ares.
That was his name. That was the main villain.
I think so.
It was Steppenwolf or something.
Oh yeah, it was Steppenwolf, not Ares. I don't know why I was thinking of Ares. I was thinking of some Wonder Woman villains for some reason.
Yeah, you're gonna pick a character. I'm not a big DC fan. I don't even remember when I watched the cartoon series about Steppenwolf. I mean, you had so many other big super villains you could have picked that everybody knows. They could have been a bigger threat for Justice League.
Here's the thing with Justice League. Why in the world did they take everything that Zack Snyder did and throw it out and have the competition come in and finish their movie for them?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was straight up. Yeah, that was straight up stupid.
Well, it's a good thing because Josh wanted to do that. He didn't come back to do any more Avengers movies. I mean, he did 2 of them, and no one. I mean, Ultron's forgettable.
Dude, I think that's the worst Avengers movie.
I mean, and actually, when I think about it, it was okay. It was, it had a point. There was a good reason why they had to do this movie, which was, it was going to
make money.
It was to make money and to add on to Civil War, because they had to use what happened in Ultron, and then the first big, the big thing with Crossbones, in Civil War. After that, they just, that was the whole, what's in the Avengers, which created, oh, there's Bucky, can't be an Avenger. Oh, I do this, do that. Now we're on the run.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that they've just kind of messed up. Oh, we've got old Mr. Jameson in here with us.
How's it going?
It's going. I knew as soon as I saw that toilet avatar, I knew exactly who it was.
Yep.
So what are you up to?
I've just been scanning in what I have colored so far. Not highly pleased with the results, as you know, but I'm messing with it.
Yeah, I don't know, the whole starting off doing this kind of stuff, like nothing ever turns out the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating. We had a lot of problems on issue 1 of Lone Wolf. I didn't talk about them because I didn't want people to know. I was like, we'll just get through this and nobody will ever notice, and they never did. So, but the colors, yeah. If you ever look at the digital version that's colored and the actual book, they look different. I think they're brighter, like digitally, but when it's printed, it looks a little bit darker. It's weird.
I prefer the darker. You know, I got mine from you, and I looked at it and I was like, to me, I was like, it looks so much better.
But I saw it digital so long that's what I got used to. So when I saw it printed, it was different and it was weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I like the way it looks in there. But and you did newspaper recently, right? You did some newspaper prints.
I haven't done the colored with on the newsprint yet, so I don't. That's what we're going to do for the variant of issue 1. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I bet it'll look better than the other book.
Oh, it's gonna look interesting because you're printing on newspaper, so it's gonna have even more of like a little vintagey look. It's gonna
it's
like
the thing
70s.
is, it's not going to have that look though, because this is really thick newsprint. It's not the thin stuff like when Marvel and like Alterna use it. They're using like 20-pound or 30-pound newsprint. The stuff I'm printing on is like 50 pounds, so it's almost like a book. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to explain it.
Oh, so you're doing like the original Eastman layered turtles when they first tried and they ended up using a giant, but except theirs were huge, right?
No, it's going to be the same size. The paper's just different.
Because I heard that when the Eastman layer first did the turtles, they used it was big but it was thick too. From what I've heard, it was
I've got the second print run of issue 1. The book's a different size. It's not your standard comic book size. But now the paper is newsprint, but it's not that really thin stuff that we were used to as kids. It's thicker, but it's not the glossy paper, you know. 6 Scale Combats asked me who printed it. It's RA Printing or RA Comics Direct or something like that. They did a really good job on it. When they sent it to me, it was packaged well. So I actually really like them. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. It actually costs more per comic to do the aged newsprint than it does to put it on glossy paper.
You'd think it would be the other way around.
Yeah, I think it's because the glossy paper is more common. More people use it now. So they probably don't keep as much in stock as like the newsprint kind of stuff. It's kind of a niche thing. So they were like, oh, some hipster will come through and want that. And I guess it was me. I was the hipster. Because, if I thought it was cool, I would probably print it on toilet paper.
Yeah, maybe it's hipster to like old stuff like records and stuff, but I think cost production wise, that's why it's so cheap for Alterna. Is I do agree. Go back to newsprint.
The reason it's so cheap for Alterna is because it's a really thin paper stock, and they're ordering tons of it. Because I ordered 1,000 copies of the glossy stuff, and it cost me $1.40 a piece. So you can't tell me that if you were a big company and you ordered 6,000 of these comics, it'd probably end up just costing you like 40 cents a piece. So newsprint's not that. I don't believe that it's that much cheaper in the long run. Mostly it just depends on your printer and whatnot. So, James, I've been looking at your pages, and the artwork on them are really, really awesome. I think my favorite though is still that panel that I shared today, where it's got the pistol stuck right up to that chick's forehead.
Yeah.
That is so good, man. It is so cool.
Thanks. That one was fun. I wanted that one to be like the cool shot of the entire story.
Yeah, man, you've got some really awesome looking faces. Your faces are really good, and your art has. I told you like when we were talking last night, it's got a lot of movement to it. Like I noticed some people's art, and the movement is implied. You know, it's like you look at it, you can tell they're moving and stuff, but you don't really feel it. And when I look at your stuff, it's like it's like it's animated.
Thanks, Doug. I guess just the influence of the comics that I like and the cartoons that I like to watch. I think that's just part of the what I picked up when I was learning.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite comics?
Oh boy, that's opening a whole can of worms. What one of the Batman runs that I don't see get brought up a lot is the 2003 Batman Adventures run, where it was still kind of the Bruce Timm animated series continuity, but it wound up being canceled before the storyline finished, and it didn't really. I don't see that one get talked about a lot, but I think that's probably one of the best Batman storylines I've read.
Yeah, I know the art style on that. I always loved how they kept that Bruce Timm style.
Yeah,
like you were saying.
that stuff. It starts off where Batman actually has to rescue all of his arch enemies because ninja assassins have been targeting them. So it puts him in this interesting moral quandary.
Huh. That's really cool.
Yeah.
They're in the chat. They're saying they can barely hear you, James. Can you turn yourself up or just scream really loud or something?
Is this better?
Let me.
They're telling me I can do it somehow, and they're trying to explain it, but I'm almost. I might as well be a boomer. So.
Right. Let me figure this out. I'm the young whippersnapper, so I should know this stuff.
Yeah, like it's on the left panel. It looks like a mixer. I totally don't have that on any panels on mine. That's got a bunch of bull crap.
Let's see. Is this better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you great, man.
All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
It's all right. I'm going to have to put Skinny in timeout in the chat.
Oh, what's he saying?
I'm just being mean to him.
Oh, I like what Dave just said.
I seen that. Don't make me get you in trouble too, Dave. I wouldn't do that to Dave. Dave's the man.
No, yeah, we like hanging out with Dave. Dave's good people.
Now, can you like put somebody in timeout?
No, he's gonna have to wait 300 seconds.
Sorry, Skinny.
If you want to make it worse, if you do it more than one time, it just adds on. So then if you do it again, it's gonna be 600 seconds.
I won't do it again. I just thought it'd be funny. But anyways, we was talking about comic books that James was influenced by. So we'll go back to that.
Yeah. So the the Batman Adventures run with the Rick Burchett artwork is definitely the biggest one because I used to copy out of that one when I was like 6. And I don't know. I'm trying to think. When I first got a hold of the Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams stuff, that was pretty cool because it was the first time I had seen realistic drawings in a comic book.
Yeah.
With all of the, but then he still exaggerated everything by having it pop off the page at you.
Yeah, I always liked the Neil Adams stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting seeing his style as he gets older. He kind of loosened up a lot.
Yeah. Like I think that's one reason like I like your art because it reminds me of the older stuff from when I was a kid. Like I would say your stuff reminds me of like 80s and I'm not going to say 90s because it doesn't really remind me of the 90s, but it reminds me of like the 80s DC and Marvel a lot.
Mm.
Like right before the big boom when stuff let's see, I can't think of the artist I'm thinking of, but like I know a lot of the Batman stuff like before around probably 88 to 90. Just the way your stuff moves and things. That's what it reminds me of. And I know nobody like knows what I'm talking about. They're like, I have to go look it up now. I have a whole stack of comic books like 5 feet away, but it's completely pitch dark in here, and I don't want to fall down and go get them.
I don't blame you.
So you're talking about the era right before the Image guys came to Marvel, right?
Yeah, before that era, when it's almost like a classic style, but they started modernizing it. You know, It's hard to explain.
So that's kind of like
so I'm gonna guess
Graham Nolan.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
It's kind of like. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it was called. It was like a Days of Future Past for X-Men. That kind of storyline was going on around that time, right? That was like early 80s.
Seeing like as far as Batman goes, like the style would have been after they killed off Jason Todd, because remember
issue.
I got like the first print of the trade paperback.
That's cool.
Up to that point, that was still like the classic kind of Batman art,
the Jim Aparo stuff.
Yeah. So like your style reminds me of like what it grew from after that. It was still heavily influenced by that, but started moving into a more modern style. To me, that's where your stuff that's what it looks like. It gains a lot of inspiration to me. But of course, I'm just some crazy rando, so that's just what I think.
No, I hadn't really put too much thought into it, really, to be honest with you.
If you look at the stuff I like you've seen Jeff's artwork on book 1, you can tell the stuff that I like is not the modern style they kind of went into in the 90s,
Yeah.
In the 90s, like everything was like super exaggerated and over the top and muscles shooting out everywhere and these weird. Now I like the stuff that happened right before that, like when all the Image guys were still at Marvel. I think some of their best stuff was at Marvel and then right when they first went to Image. But they influenced like such this weird style after that, where everything exploded in this over exaggerated, ridiculous stuff. And me personally, that's not my thing.
Yeah, it depends on who's doing it for me, because a lot of if you look at it, a lot of that stuff didn't have the structure underneath it necessarily. Like it was just the style.
Yeah.
So it was just all of the hatching and the big muscles everywhere to cover up the faults.
Yeah. Like I started to appreciate Eric Larson more when they reprinted a bunch of the Savage Dragon stuff. I think it was like the archive version or something like that. Where you know how Marvel used to do the big books where they'd reprint like 1 million issues in one trade paperback, but it wasn't colored.
Yeah, I have one of those for the Fantastic Four run.
Yeah, so I've got like Ghost Rider and some of the Wolverine ones. Well, Image did that with Savage Dragon. Like they got 2 or 3, and all it is Eric Larson's line art. There's no color or nothing, and I really got to appreciate his artwork more by reading that because you could see, the colors weren't covering anything up, and the dude's got a really cool style. He's got his own style, and like I said, he started the exaggerated thing because remember. Savage Dragon's upper half is like huge and he's got tiny legs. But that was his style,
Your style is just a silence free speech.
That's right. Because I play the banjo.
Banjo man.
But I've went off on this huge tangent about comic book art, and I'm the worst artist probably here.
Well, it doesn't take someone to be proficient at something to criticize it.
That's true.
Like, I make that comparison all the time because people are always saying, "Oh, I can't draw, so I can't say anything about it." But I think, you don't treat a chef the same way. Like, if you don't like the dish, you'd send it back regardless of how good that chef was supposed to be or how poorly you cook.
That's true. Because it'd be like, well, I'm not a cook, so I don't know if this should taste good or not.
Yeah.
You could look at it. If it offends your eyeballs, it's probably bad.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Doug, I want to let you know something. If you look over on the left of your Hangouts window, right below the screen share button is the control room. And that's what I was thinking about.
I don't have that. It says cameraman on mine.
It might be cameraman.
I click cameraman. It says opening cameraman, downloading app.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
So my Hangouts is different. Why is my Hangouts different?
I don't know, but it's there clear as day for me. It looks like a little mixer.
Yep, not on mine.
You got the boomer version.
I do.
He's got the banjo version.
Doug.
What's up?
We have kittens today.
That's what Skinny was saying.
Oh. I'm sitting there holding the McDonald's in my hand, and I didn't tell her about the one kitten. So she was like all surprised, but then we see the mama cat kind of convulsing a little bit, not in a bad way.
She was pushing.
And yeah, I'm sitting there holding McDonald's, and I just watched the kitten be born. And that was, yeah.
Did you point and yell, I just seen that cat get born?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Especially when you're in Alabama.
And then, I got to follow native culture too. So I looked out the window and I saw 2 dogs and banging. And that's what the cat's name is now.
Oh, that's offensive.
Come here, 2 dogs banging.
Melter, have I mentioned that I hate you?
Love you too, Doug.
Oh, man.
So let me ask you a question. Since you're from Tennessee, have you ever been to Nashville and had any of that Natty Bees? Is that Natty Bees or?
I don't go to Nashville.
Oh, really? It's not that nice.
It's the city. I don't go to the city.
Oh, you're a country boy.
I live way out in the country. I don't like being around people. The people in Nashville aren't really Tennesseans. They're fake.
Oh. They want to be country stars.
Yeah, they want to be country and got their fake country singing voices. And I got an accent I'm stuck with, and they're out there using fake ones all the time. It's annoying.
Oh, that's funny. See, my mother works at the Paula Deen restaurant, and they have to tell everybody, say, "Hey, y'all." So you got like people from that work there that are from Jamaica or they're from another country. They're like they're trying to be as southern sounding as they can when they say, "Hey, y'all."
That's funny, man.
Yeah, but then when they go to my mom, it was like, "You do a pretty good job of the accent." She's like, "I don't have an accent."
That just reminds me. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I was in a band and we'd play Knoxville all the time. We'd play Nashville every once in a while, but nobody in Nashville cared about punk rock, so we'd play Knoxville all the time. And you would always see tourists. It was kind of weird. I would assume there'd be more tourists in Nashville all the time, but there's a small airport in Knoxville. And one night we're playing this little place, and it's called Old City Java, and it had a little storefront in it. And the room that the band played in, the window was right behind us. So we're playing to the crowd, but people could look in. And we're rocking out, and we can see flashes like behind us. So I'm playing guitar, and I turn and look, and there is like probably 35 Asian people with cameras and cowboy hats on, taking our pictures like we're some kind of rock stars. So we start like posing and like holding our guitars up and crap. It was so funny.
So there's like 30 Asians out there with pictures of your butt.
Yeah, probably.
And they got that like little photo album. It's like, what is that? And they're like, oh, big rock American band.
Yeah, big rock American band. Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
The sad
No,
part
they
is
probably-
you
look
started
at you.
talking about flashes. I knew where this was going.
Oh, we meet Almond Brothers.
It was just so funny because they all had cowboy hats on. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Hey, look, we got Zach Hawkins in here.
So Melter, when are you going to dress up as a Ninja Turtle again?
Not now. Maybe next stream. Maybe the next stream. Yeah.
Dude, on my way to pick Miss Skinny up, I turned YouTube back on so I could listen to you guys on the way over there. I just looked down and see you dressed as a Ninja Turtle. I'm like, what in the world did I just tune into?
Yeah. I was laughing and then I started coughing and had to mute myself.
Oh, dude, I used to pick up chicks with that thing. I'm not kidding. You go to a bar and everybody's partying. The girls are like, I want to get drunk with the turtle. I want to dance with the turtle. I'm like, it worked.
I want to do an experiment now. Miss Skinny, do you approve? I'm not going to sleep with anybody. I just want to see if everybody wants to get drunk with the turtle.
How we doing, guys? Hey, let me. Can you hear my little window unit AC going?
No.
Yeah, it's not bad though. It ain't no big deal.
Nobody wants to hear that crap. It's cold enough in here.
It's all right.
It wasn't so loud that it was annoying though.
Oh, that's right. It's hot everywhere on the East Coast.
Yeah,
dude,
man.
It's hot here. I've got my air on now.
Okay, so what is the temperature out for you, Doug?
I don't know. I'm not going to look either.
Right.
Every time I get in my car, it's over 100 degrees. What was it, Skinny? Sorry.
It's 100 degrees the other day for us, and that sucks because we got like 80% humidity out here because we're next to the ocean.
Yep, same here.
Yeah. What's crazy is like I went up to Ohio a few years ago to hang out with some of my relatives and whatnot, and it was 100 degrees there, but it didn't bother me at all because there was no humidity.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it was in Tucson too, Doug. Like I love Arizona. Well, I hate Phoenix, but I love Arizona because it's a dry heat, man. You don't even sweat. Like it can be 112 degrees outside, and you don't sweat. I was so boggled by that. But the one thing that really did bother me about being out there is all these rich people would pay to have grass. Like they would pay so much money just to have a lawn to maintain, and I'm like, I just came from an area where I have to mow the lawn every 3 days, otherwise it's a jungle. I'm glad to be rid of it. And these guys are literally paying to have a chore. I'll never understand.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Dave in the chat says he's cool as a cucumber. That actually could be a pickle, so he might be cool as a pickle.
I only know why Nacho likes him so much.
Because he's a pickle. But we need to sell some comic books. If anybody's, listening to us ramble about pickles and stuff, if you've not backed Legends of the Lone Wolf, you need to go check that out. It's got some killer artwork in it. Some of it's by Jameson here. He's the guy with the toilet avatar, the guy that's pooping.
Yep.
Is the name from a scary movie Doofy?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a coincidence.
Oh,
it's a coinky dink.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Goofy, but I'm like, nah, it has to be something different. So I just switched a letter.
I'm just cleaning my room. That's the only thing I think about.
So Michael in the chat says it snowed here last week.
Jeez, where does he live?
He must live in like Colorado or something.
Wyoming.
Nice.
He's Canadian. That's why he's polite.
Makes sense. No, I mean a few years ago I was
Canadian.
Disneyland. No, okay, but I was in Disneyland in California. It was like almost like a couple days before Halloween, and it was 100 degrees. It was kind of hot, but it was dry, but it was just. But that was October, but still, it was like, oof. Now I can understand why they get so many fires all the time.
Oh, Michael says he's a newfie. Oh
So-
boy, Jesus. No fish, no money.
So, like, I just wonder if Canadians like that movie Strange Brew. It's got Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas in it.
I know Joe does. He loves that movie.
I love that movie too. I found it at the pawn shop unopened. It was in plastic wrap for $1. I acted like I found like golden treasure. Take off, you hosers. I love that movie.
What was it? I think it was a Tommy Boy. It was it was Tommy Boy. That's didn't they go all the way up to Canada, and that's when they had to spray on the side of the car that Canada sucks?
No, I don't think so.
Then they get pulled over by a cop, and I think it was Dan Aykroyd, and he says like, "Well, you're in Quebec. You also have to spray Canada sucks in French."
Oh, yeah. I kind of remember that now.
Was
I can't
that
remember
Tommy
it.
Boy, or was it a different? Was that a different one I'm thinking of? Because one of those '90s movies, Canadian Bacon. Maybe that was the name of the movie I'm thinking of.
Canadian bacon is amazing, especially when they cross the border just to dump a bunch of trash and run away.
Yeah. That movie, you know what? That movie was made by Michael Moore. It's supposed to be like this satire of a bunch of stuff, but it just makes the movie even funnier. They're trying to make fun of like gun owners and all that stuff, but it just makes the movie hilarious.
And it had John Candy.
John Candy was the best.
I miss him. What's his name? Sam Kinison. I miss him too.
I don't miss Sam Kinison. I'm sorry.
He was
He's
too
just-
angry for me.
He was just the fat guy that screamed and yelled all the time. John Candy was lovable.
What about Rick Moranis?
Dude, I loved Rick Moranis. I wish he would come back and do movies now that his kids are grown.
He
Right.
said he would. This was back when they were doing the Ghostbusters reboot, and he said that he's more than happy to come and do a film, but he's got to be sent a script that he actually likes, and so far nobody's sent him anything that he likes. So he's wanting to do it. He just hasn't found anything he felt was worth it.
Yeah,
Sounds to me like people need to try harder because we need another Rick Moranis movie.
I agree.
well, then let's just make sure the script for the new Ghostbusters is awesome, and we can just have him have a small cameo in that, or whatever.
Jason Reitman on it. I'm sure it'll be pretty decent.
And forget giving him a small part. Give him a starring role. Or shoot, we need another Spaceballs movie.
Right? Spaceballs 2, the search for more money.
Exactly.
Mel Brooks is kind of getting up there, though, isn't he? What is he, like 85 now?
I think he's in his 90s.
Outlived everybody.
Good Lord.
I mean, Marty Feldman, Gene Wilder, everybody. That is crazy.
Right?
He outlived Stan Lee. He outlived Hugh
Was it
Hefner.
He's too funny to die.
That still got me. Hugh Hefner was younger than Stan Lee, but he looked.
That's what all those years of fornication will do to you, Melter.
Yeah. Smut puts the age on you.
He had 3 girlfriends at the same time, so
Yeah,
I can believe that.
That would kill you.
It didn't kill him, but it did slowly eventually.
He was dead on the inside the entire time, man.
He was.
But isn't it like when he passed, they decided to do that spread in Playboy with the trans person or whatever?
Oh,
Like
God.
immediately after he passed, they're like,
They were
okay.
counting down.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like I think it was even in the same month. No
Awesome.
respect at all for the dead people, man. Like, aren't they still using Stan Lee's official Twitter account?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not even. It doesn't even say Stan Lee Memorial account or anything. If it said something like that, it'd be like, okay, cool, it gets a pass. But no, it says Stan Lee with a blue check mark.
Yeah. To me, if they want to use his account, they should post about, like, say, okay, today is May 28th. If something awesome happened that Stan Lee was a part of on May 28th, it should say this day in Stan Lee history. Stan Lee done this, created this character, whatever.
Right.
If a new Marvel movie's coming out and Stan created the character or one of the villains or anything, it should only be used to mention, hey, this movie in theaters, Stan created these characters. That should be the only thing. It shouldn't be a freaking commercial for Marvel to dance all over his history. You know, it's a bunch of bullcrap.
I agree.
And I know Stan Lee wasn't perfect, and he probably did some things that were crappy. But in the last 30 years, the dude did more for comic books than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who isn't guilty of doing something crappy though?
Me, I'm perfect.
You
You
play
guys
the
haven't
banjo.
The banjo is God's instrument.
Uh-huh.
God looked down from heaven and he said, let there be banjo. And there was.
And it was good.
And he said, pick that thing.
Pick
And
it
they
real
did.
good.
You sure that wasn't when he was talking about noses?
It could have been. Because I pick my nose quite a bit too.
Well, you know what they say. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you probably shouldn't pick your friend's nose.
Friend's nose. Yep, I heard that my entire life.
All right.
My grandpa was full of like little snippets of wisdom like that.
Whose grandpa isn't?
I used
Like I
to
remember,
walk 17 miles to school in 3 feet of snow, uphill both ways.
Wooden blocks nailed to my feet.
my grandpa
And
never
we
would,
liked it.
he never would talk about stuff like that. He would just say ridiculous things. Like if you came in and your seat was gone, Grandpa would just say, Well, sit on your fist and lean back on your thumb. It's like, okay. It's just something all the time, you know. Or if you ever sneezed, if you sneezed and you was around my grandpa, he'd say, "Scat, Tom, your tail's in the gravy." I have no clue what that means, but he would say it every time.
I think you just created another one because when I have grandkids, man, I'm just going to say the most random off-the-wall crap I can. Just so, like, 30 years later, they'll be on a live stream, and they'll be like, my grandpa said some really weird things.
But you know what? If you say that stuff, that's something that your family will remember forever. Grandpas are very important to children, I believe.
I wouldn't know.
Well,
I hope
I'll be your grandpa, Skinny.
Okay. Well, I do have my wife's grandpa, which is pretty awesome, and he drives a '53 Ford. So that's pretty killer.
That is cool. What was you gonna say, Zach?
Oh, I was gonna say that when I do end up, making that leap and passing over, I hope I go peacefully in my sleep like my granddad and not screaming in terror like the passengers on his bus.
Oh Lord. That was awful. Awful good.
So is my flying, apparently. Straight into that arch.
Defeated.
This is the much maligned Star Wars Battlefront 2, but hey, I got it for free, so I got no complaints.
I've never played 2. I've got the first one, and I played it some. I liked it all right, you know.
It wasn't bad. It was just a demo, though. That's what I didn't like about it. Like, I played the beta before it released. I'm like, oh man, this game's so cool. I like survival and stuff like that. I'm like, man, when this game comes out, there's going to be so much more.
And there wasn't.
There wasn't. It was basically just the beta with like 2 extra maps added to it. I'm like, really?
And no single player missions, no nothing.
Yeah, I returned it like just a couple days later. I'm like, I'm done with this. I want my money back.
It actually got quite a bit in it. There's an entire mode where it's just space battle. Pick your hero ships, the actual Millennium Falcon, or you can get the Poe Dameron piloted one, whatever.
Well, what I don't like is that they could have just remade Battlefront 2 and everybody would have been happy. Like, they already had a winning formula for the game. I don't know why they had to change it.
Couldn't tell you. I'm lost.
And then they released, Battlefront 2, the original one, on the Xbox. They're like, hey, everybody, it's coming to Xbox. Aren't you excited? And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, here it is. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, there's no servers. There's no online play at all on it. And they made a big hubbub about re-releasing it. And they didn't even enable online play for it. And I'm like, what is this poop? Shenanigans. But you know what isn't shenanigans? Legends of the Lone Wolf.
That's right. I hear tell it's got a main story that's twice the size of a normal comic book almost.
And it's more coherent than The Last Jedi.
I actually can't complain about anything past the first half of Phantom Menace because I haven't seen them.
You still need to watch Rogue One, though. Fantastic movie.
It's been this long.
Rogue One is...
I'm not gonna...
I was talking and my microphone quit working, so I had to unplug everything.
Nice.
I was trying to ask James if he played video games.
I can't say I'm that big of a video game player.
So you're not a complete nerd then?
I guess not. Like if there is a video game to be played and I'm invited to join in, I'll do it. But I'm not active. I'm not proactive about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have my moods. Like sometimes I'll play a lot, but like I haven't turned my Xbox on all week.
I used to play on the Wii a lot with my younger brother. We had the Lego Star Wars game, and we would play around on that. But mostly I was more interested in the action figures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I was brainwashed by Nintendo at an early age, so I spent a lot of my life playing Nintendos and stuff.
I blame my parents for my what is now considered an actual disability by the World Health Organization. They say video game addiction, but I blame it on my parents being
So can you
young sailors.
Can you get a check for that? Like can you get on disability?
Some countries, yeah.
What about here in America?
No.
Are you not allowed to drive a car after you play a video game?
No gaming while driving.
It's like I'm addicted. Like you just go out in the street and start shaking violently if you don't play. It's like
Just
I
go
have this
to the grocery store and start freaking out and asking
Lord,
for the med pack.
Man, I have these problems. Like I love Fallout and I love the Elder Scrolls games. But like with Oblivion and Skyrim and Fallout 3, I used to get in the mood where I would play them like a ton. And I'd play them so much I start having nightmares about them. Like not that like I don't know anything bad, but it was just like I was so obsessed with the game that I was dreaming that I was playing the game, or I dreamed stupid stuff about the game so that I wouldn't get good rest. And when I woke up, I felt like I'd just been playing games all night.
Yeah, I've never.
You may want to get qualified for that, man.
Might want to get me some disability.
Right? Might as well.
And then I can tell everybody I'm disabled.
I'm disabled.
Dude, you just made me think of the IT crowd. Have you seen that
That's
episode?
what I was referring to.
I'm disabled.
What's wrong with you? I'm disabled.
I'm disabled.
I'm still in my wheelchair.
He's in that disabled bathroom, and they end up putting him on that bus full of disabled gay guys.
Oh, it's Keira Knightley.
That is the best show that has ever existed.
Oh man, I love the IT crowd. It's a shame that it ended. They did a US version, which kind of sucked. But they still had that one guy who played Moss. I can't remember his name for the life of me.
But he's not as good as the other guy though. They had what's his name that was on Community, Joe McHale.
Yeah,
he wasn't near as good.
I don't understand that whole thing of doing the US version of a show from somewhere else. I don't understand why
I don't
doesn't
either.
just get played over here.
I didn't either until The Office, because like The Office, the first season like follows the UK version pretty much, but after that they just went ham on it and did their own thing, and it was amazing. But I don't know why necessarily they do it. I mean, I don't know. Well, why did they make the 1998 Godzilla movie?
Well,
they
wanted to punish us.
Oh, it's got to be a lot better than what FX is doing right now. They basically said, hey, remember The Office? Okay, we're going to take that format and we're going to do it with vampires.
That actually was based, that show you're talking about was based on a movie.
I've already told him this, and he keeps forgetting.
Yeah.
And the movie is amazing, and you should go watch it.
Yeah, you guys told me about that. It's just that I've only seen like a few episodes of that series. It's okay, but then it starts getting annoying because I never really liked The Office, so I'm like, it just feels like so dry. It's not completely funny dry. It's just kind of annoying.
They're just making fun of reality shows and documentaries is all they're doing.
No, what are you talking about exactly?
What We Do in the Dark or whatever it's called.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. In the Shadows. There you go.
Oh.
I haven't watched the show, but the movie is fantastic.
I just saw a trailer for some kind of other new show that's going to be on AMC about vampires, but
Nosferatu.
Yes, that looks really good though. I like how when the little boy smiles, he's got the Varatu, where like multiple like just like pin teeth. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. It just looks great. What's his name? The guy who was Spock. What was his name? Who played Spock in the new movies? He's in it.
Leonard Nimoy?
No, the new one.
Well,
the
he
young
was
kid.
the new one.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, Quinto. The one that's still alive.
I was going to call him something else, but it wouldn't have been nice.
No, but he's actually a good actor. I like him as Spock. I've liked him in Heroes.
I don't like him as Spock because only Leonard Nimoy is Spock.
Hey, that's what I'm screaming. I don't know. I saw the first of the new remake Star Trek movies, and yeah, it was all right. But
yeah, don't watch past that, Zach. You'll be disappointed.
I wasn't really into them.
Yeah, I mean, I liked them okay, but nothing beats the original Star Trek movies.
yeah,
The Wrath of Khan is a masterpiece, and nothing will ever top that as far as Star Trek goes.
I think
Shut up! You're wrong, Melter.
Nemesis. I'm sorry because
Nemesis is the worst Star Trek movie besides the new ones.
You're just mad because what happened to Data.
No, I'm just mad because it wasn't a Star Trek movie. It was an action. It was an action movie disguised as a Star Trek movie.
That's the problem with the newer ones.
Yeah, they're just action movies, and they use Star Trek characters. The original Star Trek was about the crew and their friendships, and the movies really carried that over. And that's what made shows like The Next Generation so good. Was it started? They were in space, but they developed relationships, and it was about more than just them being in space. It was about just their entire lives. It was really good.
But you don't like any of the Next Generation movies?
No, I like the Next Generation movies. I do not like Nemesis because it's just an action movie. It's the one that started that. What was the one before it? Insurrection. I liked Insurrection. Well, Michael in the chat says it was worse. I disagree. It was at least it was still a Star Trek movie. It's not the best. First Contact was awesome.
Oh, I love First Contact as well.
Generations was okay. I didn't like it because Kirk died, and some of the things they did don't make sense. Like, where Picard and Kirk's like, well, we'll come out in time and stop him right at this certain point. Well, why didn't they come out and stop him when he was still on the ship before he beamed down to the planet?
Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald's character.
Michael McDonald. Is that what you said?
Is it Michael McDonald or Michael McDowell?
It's Malcolm McDowell, but it's funny you say Michael McDonald because I think of the guy that was in the Doobie Brothers.
Oh yeah,
the singer.
It's either that one or it's look what I can do.
That guy was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But go ahead.
Sorry. What do you think of the first original series movie, Star Trek: The Motion Picture?
Oh, it's terrible.
Now, I think as a Star Trek movie, it's a big pile of poop. But as a science fiction movie, I think it's mind-blowing.
What about The Last Frontier or The Final Frontier?
Is that the one where they find God, or is that the last one?
No, that's when they find God.
Okay. Now, I've watched a documentary on that movie. And knowing what I know about the movie now, I look at it different. But at the time, I would say that was the worst Star Trek movie ever made. But like after watching the documentary, they want to blame its failure on William Shatner because that was the first one he directed. But when that movie was coming out, they only had one script pass on it. That was the first script. They didn't have any rewrites or anything because there was a writer's strike.
Oh yeah.
Then when they're filming the movie, they kept cutting the budget. So a lot of these big epic scenes they planned for the movie, they had to cut out because they would cut their budgets. So that movie was just kind of doomed from the get-go. There's parts in it that's funny, but it was a bad Star Trek movie.
Is
What
that the
about
very
Star
last
Trek
one
4?
where they? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was
That
asking
one,
about 4.
I like 4, but James is asking, that one's actually 5. Star Trek 6 is The Undiscovered Country, and it is really good.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about 3 though. With Christopher Lloyd as.
I really like that one too. That's the one where Kirk's son dies.
Yeah, and they bring Spock back.
Yeah, I think that movie, like, it blew my mind as a kid the first time I watched them. The way that they tied 2, 3, and 4 together.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the one where the Enterprise self-destructs?
Yeah, because they're going to get Spock off that planet and off Genesis, and Kirk's son was on that ship, and they end up beaming down on the planet, and him and Savick, who is played by a completely different actor,
I remember that.
Supposed to be the same character. They find Spock, who's regenerated.
And he's doing the Ponfar thing because he's an adolescent.
Yeah. And then Christopher Lloyd, who plays the most awesome Klingon of all time, comes down there and murders the crap out of Kirk's son.
I liked in the next one after that, for number 4. Then Lloyd is an older version of himself, of a different one, but it's still Lloyd, but he's an older Klingon. Which is funny, they brought him back just to play a different Klingon after that. And they had to go back in the past, and that was hilarious with the whole, they're in America, and like Spock, knocks one guy out. What was it, the punker or something out to shut the music? Oh, yeah, that was great.
He's got the boombox, and it's got like punk rock on. And Kirk's like, "Can you turn that down?" And he just turns it up.
Yeah, that was great. The original Enterprise boat, though, the battleship, that was pretty cool too.
I always remember the part where Scotty's there and they're trying to sell him that stuff, that transparent aluminum thing. And he's talking to the computer. He's going, "Hello, computer." It's not working. And the guy hands him the mouse, and he picks up the mouse. I'm holding my mouse right now to do this. And he holds it up to his mouth and he goes, "Hello, computer." That's still one of my favorite things ever. To this day, if I walk into a room, it's like, "Hello, computer."
I forgot about that part.
It's good. It's good. I'm glad I'm talking to a bunch of people who like Star Trek. I freaking love Star Trek, man.
I think I saw a Star Trek episode where he walks to the door and it's like, door, the door's not open. It's like you have to push the button.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think that was probably like more of actually now I remember. No, it was Star Trek like Deep Space Nine when they went back in time to the episode from the original series.
They went back to the Triples episode.
Yeah, and they had to learn how to use everything. Like, like Cisco's trying to hit his badge, but she doesn't have the badge.
Yeah,
so he has to actually, all that stuff was pretty funny.
I still think it's funny where Worf is there with them, and the Klingons look nothing like Worf, and they're like, "What's the deal with the Klingons?" And he's like, "It's a long story."
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, and we don't get that payoff until Enterprise to see what really happened.
And then they ruined it all with Discovery.
I haven't seen Discovery. You don't care to watch it.
It doesn't count. Don't watch it.
Let me tell you
it's garbage.
Quote. From when I first saw it, but it said, "The only way to defeat fear is to tell it no."
No, Skinny.
No, I'm not joking. This is from Discovery. Like, I thought it was a meme. I thought they were just making fun of Discovery, but no, this is a quote they thought was just so smart and intelligent that they just had to plaster it all over social media for a little while. I'm waiting for that meteor, guys.
Right?
I'm waiting for Homo superior to come and make us like the cavemen.
Yeah. So, getting back to a good Trek, what's your Doug? What's your favorite episode of the original series?
It's hard for me to pick, man. There is some absolute, like, amazing episodes of the original series. I do like the episodes where they use the actual the pilot. Where it's got I can't remember the name of the episodes for some reason, but it's got a command. Yeah, the cage where it's got Commander Pike.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was brilliant the way they used the pilot in there. But I also like the one where Spock has to go back to Vulcan, and he fights Kirk on the planet.
That's one of my favorite ones.
I always think of the Cable Guy when they're fighting there in the medieval times, and Jim Carrey's doing that music.
He's dead, Jim.
Oh man, that show was so great.
Out of my way, turds. Ah,
That was a good one too, man. But another good one I liked was Mud's Women.
Mm.
That was an interesting one with the robots. They did quite a few different kinds of stuff with robots a few times in there. Which was interesting.
Yeah.
They did some really cool time travel stuff too. Remember the one where Kirk and Spock get trapped, and I think they're trapped in the 40s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with that woman, and she ends up getting killed.
Yeah, and if she doesn't die, then it'll affect the outcome of World War II.
Yeah. So he can't save her. Oh, dude, that right there was so brilliant. It was ahead of its time.
It kind of reminds me, later on, another series that was made. There was a parody of sci-fi, Red Dwarf. They did a similar thing where they messed up going back in time, and they stopped Kennedy from getting assassinated.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they had to get Kennedy to assassinate his own self. He was the second shooter on the grassy knoll.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch
really
that.
Funny because in the universe, in the timeline where Kennedy lived, and he ended up getting impeached and sent to jail and all kinds of other stuff for just being a scummy guy. It was really funny though. But back to Star Trek. I really like that one episode where they go to this mysterious planet and all these fantasy things start happening, and then it turns out it's a vacation planet where whatever you want to happen will happen. So you end up seeing DeForest Kelly seriously being a total pimp, where he's got a big busty woman in a bikini over and arm around each one of them, and I'm like, yeah, that's my man right there.
I remember that.
Or the monster that looked like a woman, but she was sucking the sugar or whatever salt out of people.
the board. That sounds terrifying.
Remember the episode where they find Abraham Lincoln on that planet?
That was weird.
That was weird.
I think they were on drugs when they wrote that one.
Yeah, it was the 60s, right?
Well, the worst one was probably one of the last few episodes they did, which was the hippie episode where they went to the hippie planet and ate that nasty fruit. I hated that episode.
I hate those space hippies. I hate real hippies and space hippies.
All right, get a job, wash your pits,
put down,
shave your pits for Christ's sake.
Put down the pizza, pick up the soap.
Isn't that the one where Spock's playing that harp thing and everybody's dancing and singing?
Probably.
They're calling him
Yeah,
a Jared or something. You're a Melvin, you're a Jared or something.
yeah, I hate that. I hate it.
Do you remember the one where they encounter the molten rock creature? With,
Yes, it looks like a melted pizza.
yeah, and then he's trying to communicate with it. Spock mind meld. He's like, "Oh, pain!"
I
You're gonna-
especially love like
You're gonna kill me.
He's like, you gotta help it. He's like, I don't even know its anatomy. Like,
And it's just some dude under a rug.
Yeah, just crawling
That's just
around
what it
on
looks
the
like.
ground.
that
What
was
about
secretly,
What about the one that had like what was it? Ron Howard's brother was the little alien guy.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Clint Howard, yeah, he looks like a little alien normally.
I think he is a little alien, to be honest.
It was just weird. They had him like trying to talk, but they had the other voice pop out.
Another one of my favorites is the one with the planet eaters.
Yeah.
They look terrible, special effects wise. But remember the one guy, like he's they found him on a ship or something, and he's crazy, and he wants to like ram the ship into it and blow them up. They just look like big triangles with teeth that's eating planets and whatnot.
yeah.
That's a
Don't
good
recall that
episode.
one.
It's a good episode. We need to start.
Then you had stuff where you didn't need too much,
You know what we need to start doing?
like the black and white guys. Remember the black and white guys?
Oh hell!
Oh, like the Frank
Christopher Lee
Ocean
just
one.
whooped my ass.
It's like half black, half white on one side.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
another guy was, yeah. You know what we need to start doing though? We need to all get together. Did my microphone quit working?
No, you're still here.
No.
Okay, it stopped showing up on my screen, so I figured it quit working again. But we all need to pick out a Star Trek. We actually need to just start from the first episode, and we need to watch it, and then once a week stream and talk about that Star Trek episode.
I'm down.
And since Dave in the chat is a fan, we need to get Dave on the stream with us too.
I've been trying to get Dave to come on, but you know, it's Dave.
I mean, some people don't like, being out in public or talking, Even if there's only like 3 people watching the stream or whatever, some people just have that kind of like issue and problem with
But
being
I
out
think
there.
No, Dave does little live stream videos on his Twitter and stuff when he goes to the comic shop, and they're amazing. Dave's just a pitiful man full of excuses.
But let's start doing that. Let's stream once a week and talk about Star Trek.
Oh damn it!
We'll watch the episodes and then talk.
I would
about
have to find some way to rewatch them all.
Netflix.
Pirate Bay?
I don't do
No.
Netflix.
Not Hulu.
Pirate Bay?
It's on Hulu.
I don't do Hulu.
Pirate
Yeah.
Bay?
I have not heard of that, but if it'll work on a phone, I'll check it out.
Oh
You
yeah.
can
Torrents work.
download it. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Hypothetically-
I'm not paying for something I used to watch on TV for free. I don't.
Yeah, right.
I have all DVDs.
Yeah, I'll pay for movies and stuff like that, but like when somebody tries to be like, "Oh yeah, you gotta pay on Amazon to watch this series you used to watch every Saturday morning for free," I'm like, no, I'll just go get it somewhere else.
Well, what kills me is they'll put it on the app and let you watch it, but you've got to watch 20 minutes of commercials with it
Yeah,
after you pay for your service.
Right?
That's what makes me mad.
see, yeah, that's what kills me about Hulu, because Hulu at first started as a free service, but you had advertisements in the videos. And then they did it to where you can get rid of the advertisements if you got a premium membership. And then it evolved from that, because then they stopped doing the premium membership and just had paid members, or they just did the paid memberships and got rid of the free stuff altogether. And then they're like, oh, hey, we're bringing ads back. But if you don't want to watch them, you can pay more. I'm like, no. And that's why I use my mother-in-law's Hulu account.
Yeah, I don't have a Hulu account anymore.
I'm just cheap.
I don't blame you. I've canceled a bunch of my stuff. Pretty much now I've got Amazon Prime, and I use it, and I downloaded the Pluto app, which is like cable. You still got commercials and whatnot, but you got a billion different free channels you can watch.
Nice. Now, okay, out of all the Star Trek series, since we've talked about the original, talk a little about each one. You have the original, you have Deep Space, you've got Voyager, you've got Enterprise, then you've got the Next Generation. We'll just not talk about the new one because no one likes the newest one. Out of the
What about the animated series, though?
Yeah, the animated series.
Hey, that one gets forgotten a lot. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a few things they changed from the original series, but it was still pretty cool.
I saw a couple of those. It was very Super Friends-esque.
Yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah, the art.
But at least they had the original voices, though.
Mm-hmm.
What about how Janeway, the first female captain, got a ship named after a minivan? I thought that was fantastic.
That is pretty funny.
I just don't like her. Okay, here's the thing. Great actress, but I never really liked Voyager. She was okay as Janeway, but
See, that's where you're wrong. You liked Genesis, so
I preferred Deep Space Nine the most.
I like. I think I might like Voyager better than Deep Space Nine.
yeah, I'd have to agree with Doug. I really enjoy Voyager. There's a lot of character development within that. The only thing that really made me mad is in the season finale where the Doctor finally chose a name, and I think he chose something just really stupid like Bob.
Yeah, it was really pathetic.
He's like, I'm Bob now. Like, really, man? This many seasons you couldn't settle on a name, and then you choose Bob.
I liked how they brought Barkley into like the show. There later on, every season they'd have, a couple episodes that had Lieutenant Barkley on there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I love Barkley.
My thing is, I like Deep Space Nine, but Deep Space Nine was so hit or miss. It was either like just as good as everything else, or the absolute worst garbage I've ever seen.
The baseball episode, the worst.
It was never consistent.
I was going to say, all I honestly remember about Voyager was Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, I think Michael in the chat said that was the highlight.
Right.
I think that's what most people remember.
I never really got into that one.
And then they did that. They did a parody show on Sci-Fi for a little while. Shoot, I can't remember the name of it. But they also parodied Seven of Nine, but they had the alien wife. Her name was Six of Nine. I can't remember the name of that show though, but it was like CGI. It was actually pretty fun.
Tripping the Rift.
Yeah, Tripping the Rift.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good show. I have the DVD somewhere in the movie. That should have been on more often. That was.
It was ahead of its time.
My favorite episode is like when I have to go to the gay planet. He's like, we have to pretend we're gay because straight people are banned on there. Then he gets caught banging his robot girlfriend, and he's like on death row. It's the funniest stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah, they couldn't show that now.
No. The people get offended.
I believe I've got the movie they released somewhere in a box with all of my DVDs.
It was like Darth Maul or whatever, like a Lord Vader clown.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember too much. I want to rewatch it again. Damn.
Yeah. As far as Star Trek goes, The Next Generation is probably my favorite show.
That was the one I grew up on mainly.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching it, but Dad, always he grew up watching the original series, so anytime it was on, we'd watch it too. So
Yeah.
I have a fondness for it, but the Next Generation was my Star Trek. You know.
Now, who was that really cute chick with the short hair who played like the head of security or what the security officer?
Tasha Yar.
She didn't
Yeah.
last very long on the show,
Half a season, maybe?
but
Or
you
was
know,
it only the first one?
she wanted to leave the show. She
She
thought that
banged Data.
yeah, she did, but she thought that she should have more screen time and that there should be more episodes about her character.
Yeah.
And when they wouldn't like do anything, she just up and quit. So they
Pulled
killed her.
David Caruso on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came back later on playing like the alternate one, and then the daughter of Tasha from an alternate universe, and then she was half Romulan.
Yeah, there was one where she came back where it was that alternate universe, and she goes back in time with the guy that was the bad guy in that
Shooter,
Adam Sandler movie, Shooter McGavin. Yeah.
shooter, you want to go to Sizzles and grab some grub? My treat.
I can't stand Adam Sandler movies.
God bless.
Dude, to me, Adam Sandler movies like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, those are the only two that matter. After that, I don't even really care.
He was fine when he was making comedy CDs.
What if we do like take all of Adam Sandler and his buddies, and they just do a sci-fi like Star Trek parody movie?
And we just cancel it after the first episode because it would be that bad.
It would be awful. Have you not
How
watched
about
any of the movies they've been making, Milter?
Let's give David Spade a starring role in something. Oh, wait, I think it's been tried.
Yes, since Farley died, there's no reason for David Spade to exist.
Can't have Laurel without Hardy.
They made
Not true.
Now, okay, they made Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt's hilarious, but look what happened. They made Joe Dirt too, and that is the worst. That's a travesty.
There's only one scene in that entire movie that made me laugh, and that's like where he goes to the dude's mansion or whatever, and like some hoe's like talking back to him, and he's like, only a hoe would say that or something stupid. And then he gets the Thug Life glasses that like pop down from that meme, and yeah, that's the only one part that made me chuckle. Everything else, I was like, why did you guys do this? This was horrendous.
Well, it was a Crackle movie. It was made by Crackle, which is the crappiest free streaming service on the internet.
But how did they get everybody to return, though? I mean,
that's where
money.
That's where they spent all their money.
Yeah, everybody needed money, so.
No, actually, my favorite part was that they didn't have Kid Rock, so instead it was McGrath.
God, it had Kid Rock in it.
Yeah, the original one had Kid Rock, but they had to change because they couldn't get Kid Rock, so they got Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray. So when he's in the movie, and he is whatever that guy was, Kid Rock's character, that character.
Rob.
He's like, he starts, Rob or whatever. He's like, he makes fun of himself, saying like, "Man, if I was Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, I'd blow myself." And I was like, dude, that's pretty good. He's making fun of his own self.
He needed money that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no one listens to Sugar Ray anymore.
All around the world, debt collectors coming for me.
You know what's awesome though? That Sugar Ray was a really good band before they had those random pop hits.
They were a punk metal band.
Yeah, they were, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
And then they had those crappy
10
singles.
seconds down. Yeah, it was like really heavy.
Yeah, poop on Sugar Ray.
Whatever happened to Rico Suave, though?
I don't even know who Rico Suave is.
You don't know?
He was very suave.
Suave. I don't know, man.
Or what about that one song that was really popular where I don't the Chacaron.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the one they do the
Oh,
they mean
check
it
my trick on.
like and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that like a Fat Boy Slim or something?
No. Let me look it up real quick. And then I'll send it to Doug.
So, Doug, did you like Benchwarmers or Grandma's Boy?
I did,
Oh my god!
but not because they were good.
All right,
I like bad movies. I don't know what it is.
I like some bad movies.
I'll tell you a bad movie I watched this morning. Okay, you know that Jim Varney made a movie before he was in the Ernest movies.
I had no idea.
It's called Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam.
Oh,
He plays this crazy mad scientist that has a hand on top of his head.
Oh, so
Really?
the bad guy from one of the he used him later as a character in the Ernest.
Yeah, he actually plays several of the does several of the voices in the movies and characters that he does throughout his entire career. You know, the old lady, he does that in there. The movie is on Amazon Prime. I actually think I can find the link for it on YouTube. You really ought to watch it because it's not like anything I've ever seen in my life. It's a really weird movie.
Is it anything like the Kentucky Fried movie?
There's no way to explain this movie.
Right?
Like, pretty much the way it starts, you see Dr. Otto, and he's got this plan to ruin the finances of America with the gloom beam. And so what he does is when he uses the gloom beam, it erases numbers off credit cards and erases like people's debt and all this stuff. So, you know, nobody knows, you know, what money's worthless at this point. So these group of guys get together and send some stupid hero type guy and his assistant to go find out what's going on. And so the whole movie is them wandering through this forest, and they keep running into Dr. Otto in different disguises.
Huh.
He's a different character every time. And once they get away from one character, they're in some other part of the forest or in some building, and they run into another Dr. Otto as a character. But they never catch on that it's the same guy, even though it's the same face every time.
I'll have to look for that.
Oh, dude, it's something else. It's so weird. It's one of those. It's so bad that it's good.
I like stuff like that. Have you ever watched Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Love that stuff, man. I've actually watched a few of the riff tracks where they don't have. I guess they don't have the rights to Mystery Science Theater anymore.
Maybe not.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
So,
well, it's something 3000 now. It's on Netflix.
yeah, the show's back,
Yeah,
but it's not the
crap.
original. It's not the original guys.
It's got
The original,
Patton Oswalt on it now.
the original guys do riff tracks, and they're actually Mike Nelson is friends with Doug TenNapel.
Mm.
Maybe we should do our own little Mystery 3000 theater. We should do, since we were talking about Ernest, why don't we just do like a really bad movie like Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain?
Oh God, don't make me rewatch Three Ninjas, man. I wanted to be called Rocky when I was a kid. I watched those movies and I was like, this is terrible. How did I ever like it? I felt ashamed of my
You didn't want to be Tum Tum?
Nobody wanted to be Tom.
Hell no, they didn't.
Oh, come on, we'll watch that movie.
It's like wanting to be called a Rufio now.
Rufio.
Rufio.
Oh.
I love Hook, but my God, that bit with Rufio, like, ugh.
Yeah, but you know, at the time, everybody wanted to be Rufio.
Yeah, because I was like 10 years old, 8. When did that
Now
movie
you,
come out?
yeah, now it's like, man, Rufio was a retard.
Right?
It was Rufio. Rufio.
Man, I love Hook though. I was at work with a guy last year, and he had never seen Hook before.
You
And I
slap him?
was, yeah, I said, what kind of world did you grow up in that you haven't seen Hook? I went and bought it at the pawn shop and made him watch it, and then he didn't think it was that great.
Oh,
You need
Dustin
to kick him.
Hoffman, man.
You need to kick him in the balls. Sorry, but you know.
I agree, man. Hook's like a classic.
I always thought Little Monsters was kind of a take on the whole Peter Pan story. You know, they would go to the little monster city, and it ended up being like that camp where you end up turning into a jackass.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
dude.
stayed too long,
That,
wouldn't it? You would turn into a monster in that? I can't quite remember.
yeah, but remember the bad guy at the end of that?
Oh yeah, boy.
That was
Good
so
Lord.
scary, man. That
That's still
terrified me as a kid. I actually watched that not too long ago just because it was on Netflix or something. And it was still like, I was like, I can't believe this was a kid's movie. Wasn't that like Howie Mandel's only movie?
Possibly. I can't think of anything else he's actually been in.
Well, it's still better than Ghost Dad, so he wins.
Ghost Dad. Never saw Ghost Dad.
Go watch it.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah, it'll be a complete waste of time, and you'll
All right.
be mad at me for even telling you that.
Dude, I waste my time all the time.
It's not as bad as Leonard Part 6, though.
Oh.
You ever heard of Leonard Part 6?
No.
It's a Bill Cosby movie where he's playing a retired spy, and he's got to come back and defeat this woman and her evil schemes to turn everybody into vegetarians.
Wow.
It is the worst movie ever made, probably.
I actually wrote a little, it may have been a 4-page story back in high school in which myself and a group of my friends are out to stop Martha Stewart from creating an armory of nuclear weapons made from simple, things you can find around your own home. And there's a bit where I get my ass stomped by Bill Cosby. I smart off and try and tell him where he can put those pudding pops, and then I got to peel his boot out of my ass. Apparently,
That's funny.
I don't know what compelled me to do that, but
Well, if you just change it, change it to Snoop Dogg, it actually would fit in modern context there.
Would it?
Oh.
Yeah, because they had that show for a while. It was Snoop Dogg and her.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. I'll try and I've got I'll take pictures and I'll post it up on Twitter so people can read what my addled teenage mind was going through at the time.
Hey, you guys said Howie Mandel was only like one movie. I just found out one thing that just shocked me. He was in a movie. He was the voice of Gizmo in Gremlins 1 and 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the movie I remember him from was Little Monsters.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Little Monsters. But I was like, I didn't know that he was in Gremlins as the voice of Gizmo.
Did Gizmo actually talk, or did he just make stupid noises? Like
He said like bright light and stuff,
Yeah.
like little stuff. So, that's on par with I Am Groot.
Yeah, pretty much.
You gotta
no,
pay a lot of
Bobby's
money.
World was funny. I used to watch that as a
Dude.
kid.
Bobby's World was amazing. That's one of the best little kid cartoons ever.
What about Life with Louie?
Oh yeah,
I like Life with Louie, but to me, Bobby's World still beats it.
Whatever happened to Louis Anderson?
don't know.
I thought
Stop
I
being
thought
funny.
he died.
Did he?
Did he? I don't know. I thought he did.
He's still alive.
Oh,
The
so
last
this is
time I
career
saw
died.
him, he was in Baskets with what's his name? That
Oh yeah,
Jagged-
that's right. He plays
He
the
was the
mom,
mother.
doesn't he? Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually really
I-
good. He actually does a good job as a mom.
dude, I tried watching that, and it was just so weird. I couldn't.
What movie is that?
It's a show called Baskets.
Okay. Baskets is about Zach Galifianakis. He wants to be an artsy-fartsy French clown in a circus. He can't do that, but he's still being the clown, but he's a rodeo clown, but he's really not doing a good job being a rodeo clown while he's
So
trying
he's
to act
not
like
funny,
an
just like in real life.
Yeah, pretty much.
How about overrated? Hi, I'm the weird guy that just screws up all the time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta agree with Zach on this one. I don't like Galifianakis, but that's it.
Galifianakis, I don't like him neither.
I mean, he almost derailed, what's his name, Robert Downey Jr.'s career with that stupid movie he did. What was it called?
Due Date.
Yeah, that movie was so bad.
Yeah, that movie was Galifianakis. That's what I'm going to start saying that when something's bad. Be like, that's totally Galifianakis, dude.
You know, speaking of comedians, I actually watched a live show with Dana Carvey not too long ago.
Oh, really?
That dude is hilarious.
He's still hilarious, man. He did a Netflix special. I want to say it was probably last year. It's time flies when you're married, but he was. I was on the floor, like.
He's totally not Galifianakis.
Yeah, but he was telling us like one story where like Microsoft had paid him to do a presentation with Bill Gates. So he comes up and he does that bit with that he does with the old lady where he's like, "Aren't you special? Isn't that special?" And then he came on, and apparently it really made Bill Gates mad because he thought he was supposed to go on and just kind of antagonize him a little bit. Like, who needs doors when you have windows? And he's like, yeah, Bill Gates was just so irritated, done with me. They ended up shooing me off stage. And
F. Bill Gates.
right, you hire a comedian to come do a presentation with you. Like, what did you expect?
I don't know, guys, but I'm about ready to wrap this up because we've been on here forever.
Yeah.
Supposed to be trying to sell comic books, but I get wrapped up talking about goofy stuff.
Well, you know what's not goofy is Legends of the Lone Wolf, an 80-page anthology that you can get your hands on for only $20. That is the least Galifianakis thing you'll find on Indiegogo.
Yeah, it's totally not Galifianakis. Anybody have anything else they want to say before we GTFO?
Bula Bula.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. This here is a really good comics and definitely not a pizza party. So, yeah.
Hey, brother.
Hey there. All right.
Well, you got anything to say, James?
I don't know. Live long and prosper, I guess.
Can't go wrong with that.
I'm gonna be trying to do some consistent streams, so I'll be trying to stream every day or every other day, whatever, until we start picking up some momentum on the book. So next time I'm on, I'm gonna show off some more artwork and talk about stuff, and I'm gonna try to get Joe and James here on at the same time so we can talk about Joey's story a little bit, because I believe his story is hilarious and people need to learn about it.
I agree wholeheartedly.
But anyways, that's it. The stream's been totally Galifianakis.
No, it isn't. Anti-Galifianakis.
Anti-Galifianakis.
I'm
But go-
Galifianakin adjacent.
There you go. Go check out Legends of the Lone Wolf. The link is in the description.
It has a standalone story that's twice the length of a regular comic book, plus the other shorts.
Yeah, it's twice the size of a regular comic book.
Dig it!
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah! Banjo Man is coming for you.
Snap into a pizza. Oh yeah!
It made me laugh so hard the first time I saw that little promo. You doing the voice.
I love doing voices. I need to do more of those. Just ridiculous promos.
You need to do the racist Grover voice again, Doug.
I don't know if I can ever do that again. Last time I did that, it made me sick.
It was worth it though, man.
Racist Grover?
Yeah.
Yeah, we told him to do like Grover off of Sesame Street, and he sounded like Grover had joined the KKK.
It was messed up. I'm in the stream. Bye, everybody.